Hi there! Welcome to Pallet University and sort of a different video for this channel. So this past Saturday I talked about it in both the last couple of episodes in this series of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX that I was going to be part of a group that was doing some live streaming for charity this past weekend. So my segment was on this past Saturday, and I streamed for a total about a little over 3 hours, including doing most of the 99 floors of Silver Trench, Lugia's dungeon, on stream. So this is the VOD from at least that part, and I figured you guys would want to see it. You guys have been asking for quite a while to do some of the longer dungeons. Just a couple things to note before sort of getting into it. One is that we couldn't figure out we didn't have a lot of time to figure out how to like put the chat on screen because we were switching like who was actually streaming from, you know, different computers so often. So there's no chat on screen. I read every chat that I like replied to, which was pretty much all of them over the course of the stream. So there's no chat on screen, so just try to listen to what I'm saying. This is very much like an AFK, you know, throw it on in the background type of thing. Secondly, they're more importantly, actually, even too, they're doing some more live streaming tomorrow and this whole weekend, and they're trying to do several weekends in June as well. The same group that was sort of doing this, and they do all sorts of things. So, like for example, the person on the time slot right before me was doing some Pokemon card pack opening. So if that's your cup of tea, they have somebody involved who does that. And the person after me was doing some Fakemon designs with like help from the chat, which was super interesting. So no matter what your like sort of Pokemon cup of tea is, this group has some people for you that you may enjoy. So definitely please consider stopping by, donating if you're at all able. It'll be the first link in the top of the description, as well as I'll put it on screen here as well. So please at least go check it out. Say that you're from Pallet University and let them know that you're from this community and how awesome our community really is, because I really do enjoy our community. And I guess with that, enjoy the video. Okay, so hypothetically, okay, we're good. Hello everybody, how are y'all doing? So, as was said, my name is Gavin. I run a YouTube channel called Pallet University. So this is not, well, I guess sort of lately it's what's been typical on my channel, but my sort of bread and butter is that I am a professional scientist. I am currently in graduate school, and most of my videos sort of revolve around applying real-world science to the world of Pokemon. But I decided to Let's Play this game back when it came out in like the first week of March, and I was really excited about it because the original was my very favorite video game of all time. So I was so incredibly excited when they announced that this game was getting a deluxe remaster for the Switch. So I couldn't help but Let's Play this game, and this is sort of what's just been kind of dominating my channel in the past you know, over almost 3 months since the game came out. This is one of the, if you've never played the Mystery Dungeon games, they're very fun. They can be a little grindy, but this game is pure nostalgia for me personally. I really enjoy the story of it, and this is, you know, well into the post game. So this is not super indicative of the actual story of the game. This is much more just pure gameplay mechanics. But I really enjoy it. This is one of the longer dungeons in the game. This is Silver Trench. This is the dungeon that Lugia lives in at the end. So that is sort of going to be the big finale of this whole deal. So we are currently on floor 18 just because the 99 floor dungeons can really vary quite widely in how long they actually take to complete. So I wanted to make sure I got a little bit of a head start before we got started. But yeah, so make sure also, this is, well, I just want to thank the Pokecasters Network for, you know, letting me come on and letting me help out with all this stuff, because you know, networking as a small content creator can be kind of tough. And when you get to help out, you know, network and help out such a great cause at the same time, there's really nothing better than that. So really, thank you guys. So there's a lot of sort of minutia that goes into playing Mystery Dungeon. There's a lot of like moving pieces that you have to sort of keep track of all at the same time. So each move has like a specific range, you know, for anyone who's never played these games. Each move has a specific range, and the reason why why this is the team that I have, this seems like a really ragtag kind of random assemblage of Pokemon. So this is probably one of the best boss fighting teams, especially not so much Electrode. Electrode's kind of garbage like it is normally, but this is a really good boss fighting team in sort of a water-based dungeon because of Smeargle. Especially with Lugia at the end, which is also weak to rock, which is why Miltank is here. So, we have Smeargle, who has moves Discharge, Heat Wave, Blizzard, and Spore, all of which hit every Pokemon in the entire room. Which is good for the late game dungeons, because there are these things called monster houses, which I'm sure we'll run into, where you can't see it when you get into the room, or like before you walk into the room, but while you were there, as soon as you step in, about a dozen or so Pokemon just kind of fall out of the sky and trap you. And it's those kinds of moves are very good for those things. Electrode is also here because Electrode knows Discharge, which is nice. Miltank is here because Miltank has Rollout, as we all know if you've ever played the Gen 2 games. Rollout is very, very powerful in this game. In addition to has Defense Curl, which an interesting mechanic, and this is in the regular games as well if you didn't know. If you use Rollout right before you use, or if you use Defense Curl right before you use Rollout, it doubles Rollout's power, which, assuming you hit all the Rollouts, can be just absolutely devastating. So that's why Miltank's here. And then Omanite just kind of joined me along the way. That's how you like add new Pokemon to your team. Instead of catching them like in the normal games, you after you beat them, they think, hey, that guy's kind of cool. So, and then they're like, hey, I might want to join you. And you can either say yes or no. I was gonna say no because typically, like this. Typically, they are more trouble than they're worth, especially in these kind of late dungeons. But there are certain things in this game called rare qualities, which are almost like a second ability, in that they're just sort of an extra thing that you have to keep track of that is very, very helpful. So, for instance, the only reason I picked up Omanite was because it has the rare quality Leave Half, and I know this is real complicated. If you play the game, it is spelled out quite clearly for you, but I'm giving you kind of a crash course. So, rare qualities. Let's take a look at some summaries here. Rare qualities, if I can find it, there we go. So, rare qualities, right there under Omanite's ability. Leave Half. So what that does is apples, which control your belly, so as you progress through a dungeon, you get hungry, and you need to eat food, which makes sense. Unlike the normal Pokemon games, where you can literally play for years as the character, and you just never have to eat, because that makes sense. Max Elixirs, which do the same things, they heal your PP, as well as Reviver Seeds and Tiny Reviver Seeds work as revives. So, if you use one, and you have a Pokemon with the Leave Half rare quality, you get sort of a leftover effect. So if you eat a big apple, you get an apple. If you use a Max Elixir, you get a Max Ether, instead of it just being gone. So it's a very good rare quality to have for long dungeons like this one. And the whole goal of Mystery Dungeon is to make it from room to room and find the stairs. Now the stairs just sort of take you from floor to floor. There are other ways to get from floor to floor, but stairs are generally the most common. There's also these things called traps that just casually, you can't see them. There are certain ways that you can see them, but they're generally not visible unless you use a certain item or certain things like that. But they'll just ruin your day. Like as you might have seen in our inventory, we have some grimy food. Those originally were perfect apples, which makes me sad that they're now grimy. But once you step on, I think it's just a grime trap, or a grimy food trap, something to that effect. Yeah, they really just, they just kind of go bad, and they're worth a lot less, filling up of your belly. Although when you use a reviver seed, you get a full belly anyway, so I'm not super concerned because, at this point in the late game, I have many reviver seeds. I'm not incredibly worried about that. At least for the actual part of the dungeon. Now, once we get to Lugia, that's when we'll need the reviver seeds. The boss battles generally, especially for Pokemon like Lugia, which are generally more powerful anyway, like sort of the box art legendaries tend to be the strongest, even if they're not sort of generally considered super strong in the main series games. But Lugia is definitely going to give me some troubles, which is part of why, as you can see right here, I have Discharge and Blizzard linked, which means I can use them both in the same turn, which is really powerful, but it does decrease your belly when you use it more. It also is super cheesy because Discharge and Blizzard both have a fairly high chance to freeze and paralyze and freeze respectively. So there's a really high chance that we're just going to hax the crap out of Lugia. Also, as the chat says, make sure to donate. Once again, incredible cause. I do a lot of volunteerism work around sort of the Pittsburgh area. And I know in the past, the Pokecasters Network has done a lot of stuff with like Extra Life Pittsburgh and other Pittsburgh-affiliated nonprofits and things like that. So it's the Pittsburgh area is really just an incredible place, and like so many other places in the country right now, there's a lot of people who just need help if you can afford it, obviously. So yeah, and also we're super close to some giveaways, so make sure to donate, because you could be getting that giveaway. What is the next giveaway, just out of curiosity anyway? If you want to throw that in the chat. Oh, I didn't mean to say yes to Krabby. Krabby, I really don't want you, but as far as I know, there's no way to get rid of you once you're here. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Oh well. At some point, Krabby will die, and I will just let it die. $15 earns a promo set of TCG cards. Ooh. I used to be super into TCG, and then, like, it just started getting super expensive. So, like, a promo set of TCG cards is, like, prime. $25 is eligible for a plush, large decals, and face masks. Ooh, that's cool. And there's only one large $50 item left, so you should hop on it. Because that could be you. Okay, Smeargle's in a little bit of trouble here. Yep, so when you faint, it automatically prompts you to use a Reviver Seed or a Tiny Reviver Seed. I am infamous for accidentally clicking B here, which basically kicks Smeargle out of the dungeon. But I'm going to use a Tiny Reviver Seed. Like, there was an episode where I was fighting Rayquaza, which, when you fight Rayquaza the second time, it can Mega Evolve, spoilers. And no, Krabby, I didn't want you the first time, I don't want you again. Everyone who donates is eligible for a prize, and for every $50 we do a small giveaway. There you go. The more you donate, the more chances there are to win. So now, Omastar, I also don't really want you, even though I have an Omanite, which is definitely worse. But yeah, sorry, Omastar. But yeah, so I was, wait, where is everybody? Where's Krabby? Krabby, what are you doing? This is why I didn't want you. You're way up at the top. Anywho. Yeah, so I was fighting Mega Rayquaza, and with my strongest and my second strongest, literally like back-to-back Pokemon, I accidentally pushed B instead of pushing A, and they got kicked out of the dungeon, and I got absolutely stomped by Mega Rayquaza. And that is why I went to get Smeargle, because I was kind of like, oh, I could just use my main character. So in the Mystery Dungeon games, you are turned into... See, this is what I mean by I just misclick a lot. Oh well, once again, hopefully, and I say this in the kindest possible way, hopefully they'll get knocked out at some point and I can just ditch them. But, yeah, so, I'm kind of infamous on my channel for misclicking during these things. But we will have lots of other sorts of content coming out on our channel relatively soon as well. And so if you like the stuff on the Pokecasters Network, like some of those shorts that I saw about Snom and Frostmoth, definitely check out our channel as well. But before that, you should check out that link down below to Extra Life. Okay, I'm paralyzed. What is happening? How did I even get paralyzed? I'm not paying very good attention to this game. My attention span is not excellent, which is also makes 99th floor dungeons kind of a problem. Eventually I'll switch from Smeargle to somebody else because I've ran out of food in this dungeon. Oh yeah, this is also a thing. So you can find randomly just on floors a Pokemon that needs an apple. In this case, it's a Houndour, which obviously I don't know what a Houndour is doing like 24 floors under the ocean. Your guess is as good as mine, but I don't even have an apple to give it. So I guess I just have to be kind of heartless and just leave it here. Sorry. But they join your team as well, and they generally have some of the better rare qualities, because some are much better than others. So they are usually worth giving an apple to, but when you don't have an apple, there's not a lot that you can do. Let's see. What else can I sort of ramble about for a while? Got lots of time to fill. That was weird. Sometimes Mystery Dungeon, just because the maps are pretty big, I don't think this game is optimized incredibly well. Sometimes it'll just freeze like that for some reason. That wasn't the stream, that was the game. And Grimer, if I didn't want this Omanite or Omastar or this Krabby, what makes you think I want a Grimer? Sorry. Yeah, there are a lot of like new features in the DX game, which makes sense because, you know, it's a rebrand from the original game came out 15 years ago, so hopefully there's new features. But one of them is what you might have seen me doing quite a bit, which is called auto mode. It's like if you push like the left top button, it basically just puts you on autopilot, and you can set whether you want to just look for the stairs, or another option is to look for all the items on the floor, which generally is just a big waste of time, but sometimes can be useful. You can also switch between Pokemon by pushing plus, which is nice. So like, if you haven't ever played Mystery Dungeon, I highly recommend it. I would say try to find maybe a ROM of Explorers of Sky, I think, to be your first sort of introduction to Mystery Dungeon. Staryu, I really don't want you either. Those were the, so there's been sort of like 4 generations of Mystery Dungeon games. There was the original games, which were, Red and Blue Rescue Team. That was actually the first Pokemon game on the DS, I believe. That might not, now that I think about that, might not be correct. I'm trying to think. I think it was like Pokemon Troze might have been the first, oh, I have literally nothing to eat, do I? Well, I guess Smeargle might faint from hunger then. Yeah, I think Pokemon Troze might have been the first Pokemon game for the Nintendo DS, like the OG DS. But Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team was, must have been very shortly after. But yeah, so Mystery Dungeon kind of has the, sort of the reputation for being some of the first Pokemon games on a console, Because I believe, this one I'm very confident in, that the first 3DS Pokemon game was a Mystery Dungeon game. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he's a tiny Reviver Seed. Why am I throwing right now? Yeah, so that one generally is not a good Mystery Dungeon game. Do not play Gates to Infinity for your first Mystery Dungeon game. I think it's worth playing once you've played all the other ones, but don't let that be your first, because you will not play the others. Okay, Miltank, you need to stop doing that and just let me faint. Let's see, and you can control all sorts of stuff about your team. So like I can turn Miltank's milk drink off, which heals your entire party. I can just turn that off so Miltank just doesn't use it. And then, like I said, I'll just kind of let myself faint, so that I can heal my stomach with a full Reviver Seed, not a tiny Reviver Seed, because that's sort of the difference between the two. So, Reviver Seed. And because I ate a perfect apple earlier, I have a full, like over full belly of 150 compared to the normal full, which is just 100. And then one of the cool mechanics is that your teammates' belly doesn't go down unless you're controlling them, which is very useful for getting through these long dungeons. What is happening? Something's going on back there and I want to know what it is. See, I find myself just kind of rambling to myself whenever I play this game. Because it's just very, I mean, it's a dungeon crawler. And if you have a team of too many people, like I have, like I really... 4 is probably like the max that I like to work with. After that, it just gets really cumbersome because then you can never tell what the people in the back are doing because they're not like official members of your team yet until you complete a dungeon with them. You can't control them, so I can never know what's going on back where they are if they're in a different spot. Like they are right now. Like I have no idea. Luckily, in some dungeons you can tell where everything is, including like items, opponents, whatnot. This dungeon you can't, unless you have an item called the X-ray specs, which lets you see all the items and enemies on the entire floor, which is super useful, just for knowing, keep an eye on where the enemies are. Also, items is very useful. I don't think any like food items spawn in this dungeon, or I'd be looking more for food. Which is obviously what the X-ray specs are kind of for. Held items are also like a super important thing in this game. I definitely don't play this game optimally. I've had people in my comment section tell me that. Because there are lots of really powerful items, and I'll see if I can't open up my inventory and show you a few of them. So some of these items, they're called wands. You can basically like wave them and they'll hit something within like 10 spaces if it's straight in front of you. And so like this one makes Pokemon petrified, which means that it is essentially, it can't move or use moves until you damage it, which is an incredible status to have. But I just don't ever use them, and my comment section is always roasting me for this. Same thing with like orbs. There are orbs that do very similar things, but tend to have like sort of bigger effects. So a petrified orb, instead of a petrified wand, a petrified orb might affect an entire room, whereas a petrified wand only hits like a single target. But yeah, I just don't ever use them during boss fights, which is why I tend to not have an incredible track record in boss fights. So that's why I brought this optimal team, so I don't have to use those items. What is going on back there? See, I feel like most of my time in this dungeon is just going to be spent rescuing my less good teammates. And for a long time, so you get Smeargle basically at the beginning of the postgame. And my comment section was like, use Smeargle, use Smeargle, use Smeargle, he's so good. And I was like, guys, so my Pokemon that I like started with as well are, I was a Tentaquil, now a Typhlosion, and my partner was a Cubone, now a Marowak. And yeah, I'm like, God, I'm too powerful Pokemon. Like, how bad could it be? And then I got bodied by Mega Rayquaza, like I said. And then I was kind of humbled, and I was like, yeah, I'll grab Smeargle off the bench. Okay, so the stairs must be over here. Also, once again, do not forget to donate. The more money we raise, the more people we help, which is, you know, the whole goal of this entire day, this entire weekend, for the Pokecasters Network, as well as, you know, all the other super fun events going on throughout the summer as well. Okay, so there's another Miltank, and once again, I don't have another apple to give it. So, sorry, Miltank. But yeah, this game just has a lot of really nice quality of life changes, and just like aesthetically. So the aesthetics were something that a lot of people were really mixed on when the first trailer came out for it, because it looks almost like it's got like a really heavy like sharpening filter on it almost. You can see like some of the outlines, like the outlines on Smeargle are pretty heavy, as well as like most of the stuff in general looking kind of washed out. I think it gives it like a rustic look almost, which I quite liked. But who knows? You know, everyone has their preferences. But I really hope that they continue to make more of these remakes with more of these like quality of life changes, because there were just a lot of things in the original game that were like, if you think this game's grindy and you've played this game, don't play the original. Like I still think everyone, if you enjoy like a remaster of a game, you should try out the original. I think that's just like a general good policy to have. But yeah, I mean the game was made 15 years ago, so it needed some updates. I still think it holds up, but it was a Game Boy Advance game, so there's only so much you can fix from the original. And it's funny, so I actually did have a Let's Play channel for a while before I kind of got bored of just doing Nuzlockes and everything. It just wasn't like super satisfying creatively, you know? Oh, cool. Oh yeah, stats are also basically meaningless in this game as well. Stats don't mean almost anything in Mystery Dungeon. Geez, what is going on back there? Omanite, why do you keep getting into trouble? Never mind. Okay. There is a lot happening right now. Anyway, yeah, so I had a Let's Play channel where, like, the final Let's Play on that channel before I kind of retired it was a Let's Play of the original Mystery Dungeon game. And I ended it, like, a week before they announced the remake of, you know, this game. And I was like, well, that was good timing. Still, like I said, the original is probably my all-time favorite video game. Just because I played it at a time that was, like, super nostalgic for me. That game, it came out in 2005. I was 9. So, everyone has, like, their favorite video games from around the time when they were pretty young. Alright, I might have to switch to a different Pokemon soon. Smeargle's kind of running out of gas. And I don't want to keep just wasting Reviver Seeds. I think I'll use one more on Smeargle, and then I might switch to Miltank. I feel like we might move a little quicker with Miltank as well. Where are these friggin' stairs? Okay, so they must be up in the top right corner there. See, I thought I was prepared for such a long dungeon by bringing, I think I brought like 4 or 5 perfect apples, which, for the first 2 anyway, increase your total belly by 50 points, so you can have a max belly of 200. And I'm like, if I eat perfect apples relatively often, that'll be fine. I didn't anticipate them being destroyed and turned into grimy food by floor 30. Ooh, a cool, like, aesthetic change. I like that. So, okay, so there's a lot of items over in the next room to the right. Huh. That could be a monster house, but it also could be... There's also sort of, like, in-dungeon shops, occasionally. Okay, so this is a monster house. This is why Smeargle is great. Because I use Discharge. And every Pokemon in here gets hit. And that's also why Discharge and Blizzard are linked, because neither of them are particularly accurate in this game. And, but if you have both of them, they are relatively accurate. One of them will hit almost every Pokemon. Yeah, and occasionally you'll get random, like, chest drops from Pokemon. It's pretty random. Also, what's in them is completely random. I think there's, like, a pool of maybe, like, 100 or so different items that they can be. But it's generally pretty random. Okay. Yeah, this was that kind of grindy part that I was talking about. For a while, you know, when the dungeons are... I think the longest main story... Hey, Mr. X, thanks for coming by. Yeah, so for the majority of, like, the main campaign of the game, almost, there is... like the longest dungeons, maybe like 35 floors, which takes, in general, like 45-ish minutes. But these 99 floor dungeons, not to mention that they're just in general harder, but they also, because they have, you know, generally more complicated floor layouts, they have, harder opponents, more traps. They just take quite a bit longer. So, like, this dungeon will probably take me... I think my block is until 5. So there's a solid chance that I might be in this dungeon until 5. I tried to get to a point where, like, start off at a point that'll make it to so that I can get there in time, get to the end in time. But I guess we'll see. Yeah, how are you doing today, Mr. X? Also, I need a drink. Don't forget to drink water, everybody. Drinking water is very important. You're doing fine, that's good to hear. Any, exciting Memorial Day plans? As exciting as they can be. Yeah, my parents have, like, a little... They, like, lease a plot of land on a lake nearby. So like they're over at camp right now doing some, and it's honestly like this has been absolutely none. Yeah, that's sort of where I'm at as well. Like my parents are, like I said, are over at the lake, and they we were talking yesterday. This has been like the first Memorial Day weekend in years that hasn't either been super rainy or just cold, which is super nice, because like where I live is just starting to sort of open back up. Obviously, like my family and I are still being super careful, but like the camp that we have is, you know, pretty isolated. We don't talk to too many other people around there. Plus, we spend most of the time outside, which is just generally safer. But yeah, so I hope that everyone watching stays safe this Memorial Day weekend and make good decisions, both regarding what's going on right now and just in general. Like Memorial Day tends to be a time when like I have a couple friends who are like EMTs or that kind of like associated field, and they're always like, yeah, Memorial Day, because it's like the first holiday of summer, they get like a lot of like drunk driving accidents, and that's just real sad. So make good decisions this weekend, everybody. Whose HP is low? Okay, I need a max elixir as well. And also, I need to give a max elixir to... Good decisions, that's right. I need to give a max elixir to... who are you? Electrode as well. Because the entire reason you're here, Electrode, is to use Discharge, and I think you've been out of Discharges for at least like 10 floors now and just haven't realized it. Okay. So, ideally, I don't know how it sort of works with, there's also random weather that can happen in dungeons. Sometimes it'll just be randomly raining on a floor. I really hope that doesn't happen here. Because a lot of the Pokemon in here have Swift Swim, which means that they get to attack twice, which is really bad. Yeah, that's really bad for a lot of reasons. See, normally there's sort of almost like a formula that you just sort of learn over time for like sort of predicting where the stairs are going to be. It's really hard to describe without having played the game a lot. Like, I think I've got like almost 200 hours in this game. Which like isn't a ton. Like, I know people who have like over 1,000 hours in Sword and Shield, which blows my mind. And like, yeah, the game's been out since November, but like, I don't have 1,000 hours of free time. I think those people are mostly like content creators though, so at least they have like a reason to have spent so much time on that game. Also, once again, make sure you are checking out the link down below to donate. It helps out a really, really great cause, and there's also some really great prizes and giveaways as well. So, and not to mention you're just helping out a great cause. God, I really just don't want any of these Pokemon to join me. Like, is that mean? I'm pretty sure it's because Smeargle has the rare quality friendly, which makes Pokemon more likely to want to join you. I'm pretty sure that's why, even though I just don't want it to be that way. Okay, that's not good. You know how I was talking about rain? Wow, that's a lot of damage. Holy crap. You know what, Krabby? You're doing good things over there. Yeah, rain is not good. Rain is not good for me right now. And it lasts for quite a while, too. Okay, but now it's hailing. In the ocean. Somehow. Your guess is as good as mine. Oh, it's a Celio. What are you doing way down here, little guy? Yeah, so hail is really unfortunate in that it prevents you from healing any of your HP, because your HP naturally recovers. I think it's like 1 or 2 points for Smeargle's just 1-2 tapping these. Exactly. That's why I love Smeargle. But yeah, so hail and sandstorm prevent you from recovering. It's SpongeBob logic. Exactly. Also, thanks for coming in, Celeste Sapphire. Maybe you've just been lurking. I don't know. I'm definitely a lurker, personally. While you're here, if you just joined in, or if you've been here for a while, maybe check out that little link down below. And consider donating, even just a tiny bit, if you can afford it, obviously. Everyone's sort of in weird financial times these days, but if you can afford it, consider donating with the link down below. But, SpongeBob logic, absolutely. Like, having a fire, like, one of my favorite things about SpongeBob is that it's just very self-aware. Like, that's one of my favorite things in a TV show, is that, like, when they, like, very subtly acknowledge that they're in a TV show. Because I'm assuming you're referencing, like, the episode where, Free Balloon Day, where SpongeBob and Patrick think they stole a balloon. And, they have, like, a campfire, and Patrick's like, "Hey, SpongeBob, if we're underwater, how can..." And then the fire just goes out. I love SpongeBob. Early SpongeBob. Like, I have some younger family members who, swear by current SpongeBob. Or, like, recent SpongeBob. And I just have to kindly but firmly tell them that they're wrong. Because classic SpongeBob, like, between 99 and probably like 2001, SpongeBob was like chef's kiss. Excellent SpongeBob. Probably, like, I think one of the all-time best episodes is, I think, the first or second episode. And it's the Krusty Krab pizza. That is a masterpiece. And no one will ever change my mind about that. Well, Omanite, you keep doing you. That's one of the nice things, sort of, about having the sort of new members to your team in a dungeon, is that they don't ever run out of PP, which is nice. Especially when they have moves like Hydro Pump, which is incredibly powerful in this game. Okay. We are making our way downtown. Although we're not walking fast. Like, that song is a lie. We are not walking fast right now. We're walking real slow. Okay, so something that I'm gonna need to keep pretty careful track of is my Reviver Seed count, because that's gonna be very important later. So because we have Omanite, which has the Leave Half rare quality, these Reviver Seeds count as 2 because they turn into a tiny Reviver Seed after we use them. So we've got 7 here, and then 6 here, so there's 13 of those, so that's 26. So we have 30 revives left, total. That's definitely doable. I think we just have to be very sparing with them and do something like using this Oran Berry. Because Oran Berries are actually super good in this game, that they heal 100 HP. Okay, no, it's paralyzed, so you don't need to. I do wish that the like teammate AI was a little bit better in this game, but alas, it is not. Alright, so I think we might switch from Smeargle. Go with Miltank. Smeargle got a lot of screen time. Let's go with Miltank. Miltank's just always been one of my favorite Pokemon. It's just so goofy. Like, here's Tauros, this like really cool... Well, that was bad. Well, okay, well, there goes Miltank. Yeah, Tauros is really cool, like, aggressive bull thing. And then here's Miltank, this, like, bipedal cow with just these random udders. I also love that the Christmas episode of SpongeBob, because Squidward ended up being the kindest in town. See, I love Squidward. And, like, now that I'm an adult, because I think Squidward is supposed to be in, like, his early to, like, mid-20s, I relate to Squidward way more than I ever did to SpongeBob. The Arnold one with Mr. Hun and his daughter. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Also, while you're talking about Hey Arnold, because that's a show I've been meaning to watch more. Like, I have the entire series on DVD, because I saw it one day at Walmart, I think. It was, yeah, the entire series on DVD, and I think it was like 20 bucks. And I'm like, that's a show that I remember liking from my childhood, so why not? But I've just never had the time to sit down and watch all of Hey Arnold. Celio, I really don't want you. I think I already have a Celio, actually, too. So yeah, I definitely don't want you. Okay, and thankfully the weather became clear because now we can recover HP. And actually, wait a minute, I have Milk Drink. Nice. Hey Arnold was a show that I think was, like, way before its time. Jeez. Yeah, Hey Arnold was a show with, like, so many, like, adult-type themes with, but still presented it in a very sort of kid-friendly way. That's the same reason why I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, some of my cousins were very much like Disney kids, but I'm like, nah, Nickelodeon was my jam. Oh, I'm running out of max elixirs too, that's also not great. Wait, what just happened? Oh, cool! I found a Reviver Seed. That's very helpful. Thank you. Thank you, game. Okay, we are almost to the halfway point. Wait, who's this enemy? Oh, it's that Armaldo. I didn't even see him there. That right there is why Miltank is a boss killer. Especially for Pokemon that are weak to rock, like Lugia is. So, Rollout is not an exceptionally accurate move. Like, even like in the main series games, it's not a very accurate move. But, in this game, it's even less accurate, because all 5 of them go in the same turn. But, Miltank has the rare quality Rapid Bullseye. Which makes it so moves that hit multiple times never miss, which is excellent. And it was just completely random. Like, it's you can change which ones, which rare quality a Pokemon has, but they it was just completely random. Miltank just came with it, which was crazy to me. But and the best part is that rare qualities affect your entire team. So because Miltank has Rapid Bullseye, I'm pretty sure it's called? Yeah, Rapid Bullseye. So it means that Omanite and Omastar's rollouts will also be guaranteed to hit every time. Was that a max elixir? Thank you. Now, if only I could find some apples in here, which I know isn't going to happen. But I meant to click Discharge with Electrode, but Charge works too. Alright, what is going on back there? Once again, like, one of the biggest downsides of this game is, like, well, okay, well, having a lot of Pokemon on your team in a dungeon is, like, very helpful for bosses, because it's really hard for bosses to sort of, I mean, it's easier for bosses than a lot of other Pokemon, but bosses tend to have a harder time targeting down multiple Pokemon, because you can get spread out pretty easily. So having multiple Pokemon is just helpful for more damage. It does chew up your Reviver Seeds really quick, though. Is that a Badoo? That is a Badoo. I'm really sad, because I've never seen a Badoo. Baby Pokemon. And so, Pokemon, you know, when this game was made, the original, it was a Gen 3 game. I think they reference Lucario a little bit, but they don't ever actually show, oh, they do show Munchlax, but those are the only 2 Pokemon I think that they show that are post-Gen 3. And, but in this game, every Pokemon that has like a Gen 4 through 7, I guess, evolution or pre-evolution, those Pokemon are in this game as well. So Badoo is in this game, because Rosalia is in this game. But I've never seen a Badoo, and they're relatively rare, and it makes me sad that I can't help it because I don't have an apple. Well, you want to know how you can help? It's by checking out that link down below and donating. I'm really bad at segues, and I always make myself cringe whenever I used to have a really good talent for puns, and then I don't know what happened to me. I think life just happened to me. Like, in high school, I was that, like, very much, the more groan-inducing a pun is, the better, obviously. And I could turn anything into a pun. It was, like, a secret talent that I had. But, like, I don't know. Since college, that just hasn't really been the case anymore. Okay, so I think I might switch to Electrode here, because Electrode at least has a full belly. Man, I should have linked Charge and Discharge with Electrode before I came in here. Oh, excuse me. I also really wish that Charge Beam had range, because it sounds like it should. Like Ice Beam and Psy Beam have range. Oh, okay, so using Link moves for Smeargle, even when I'm not controlling it. This is a mechanic I didn't actually know. So Smeargle gets its belly reduced, even when I'm not controlling it, when it uses the Link moves. Interesting. Well, so I think I'm just gonna have to control Smeargle and then let him faint again. Oh, you can't even use them when you don't have... Oh, when you have no belly. Fascinating. I guess I never really knew that. The more you know. Okay, so now Smeargle has a full belly again, and I'll go back to Electrode. And, like, I feel so bad just, like, abandoning these Pokemon that need help. But, like, this Marill is absolutely not getting help from me. Like, there are some Pokemon where I would, like, that I feel bad about leaving, but I'm like, it's just a Marill. I don't know. Is that mean? Is that mean of me? Oh, like, I think my Joy-Con's starting to get a little Joy-Con drift. Not starting. It definitely has before, and I've fixed it before, but I don't think... So one of the ways to fix that, if you didn't know, is to take, like, a Q-tip. Because I know this is a problem that plagues a lot of people. So take, like, a Q-tip and put some, like, rubbing alcohol on it. And then you can put it sort of underneath the, like, little plastic or rubber part on the Joy-Con. And that generally tends to get rid of it. It just cleans out some of the dust that sort of gets built up in there. Yeah, and then, so I bought, like, a controller. It wasn't a pro controller. It was, not quite like a knockoff controller either. Like, it was, like, Nintendo branded. So it's not like it was just some complete third-party one. But I bought it assuming, incorrectly, that it would, not develop this drift. And develop the drift faster than the actual Joy-Cons did. I'm like, well, what was the point of that? So I think I brought it home with me. So, for anyone not aware, I go to graduate school in South Dakota. Let's see. I've often wondered what competitive Pokemon Mystery Dungeon would look like if it existed. That's a really excellent question. I feel like it would have to be speedruns. I feel like that's the only way you could potentially even do it. Just be like, alright, pick your team. You know, you get your items. You start the same dungeon at the same time. But even then, there's so much RNG involved in that because the dungeons are never the same. So one person could just get like a ton of like good rolls, as in like starting in the same room as the stairs, which, by the way, I have not done once. Yeah, like there's generally... Oh, I didn't mean for that, Smeargle, I'm sorry. There's generally a pretty decent chance, depending on the dungeon, of starting in the same room as the stairs. And I don't think that has happened to me once. Also, yes, as our host says, make sure to donate. Every few dollars really does help. We're... How close are we? What are we at right now? We are still quite a ways from our goal. And it would be really awesome, you know, the more people help out, the quicker we can get to that goal. And the more people we can help. So even if it's just a few dollars, we really would appreciate it. Okay. So you could give everyone in the tournament the same random seed value, so the same dungeon is generated for each player. I don't know how any of that stuff works. I'm sure there probably is a way to do it with, like, hacking the Switch and stuff like that. That's not something that I am ever comfortable with, really. Like, I've looked into just some of the... Because I like to build computers and things, so I know generally how computers work. And I looked into it, and, like, it's largely safe, but, like, there's always a chance where something could go wrong when you mess with the internals of a Switch like that. But yeah, so there are definitely ways to do it. Man, that'd be a really weird sight to see. There'd have to be a lot of coordination going on with that as well. Okay, let's have a little fun. So, we're going to floor 50, which is roughly the halfway point. It's a 99th floor dungeon with the boss on the 99th floor. Every dollar that is donated on while I'm on this floor, I will match. So, make sure to go down to that link below and donate whatever you can, because I will be matching that. Love Disc, why are you even here? Like, are you even a Pokemon, Love Disc? Okay, I definitely just insulted you a lot. And now you want to join my team? No, I'm sorry. Dratini, I love Dratini. Dratini's such a good Pokemon. Alright. Come back to me, everybody. I also really enjoy Vaporeon. Let's see. If the Pokemon Cinematic Universe ever became a thing, would you want a PMD movie similar to Detective Pikachu? I would absolutely love that. I think the execution would have to be, like, really on point. But there would definitely have to be... I would definitely watch it. I think, I don't know, the Mystery Dungeon fandom is, like, kind of small, but super, super dedicated. So I definitely think people would watch it, personally. Krabby, you don't really need an Oranberry. I need to save those. Also, Paralysis lasts super long in this game compared to the other one. I think every other Mystery Dungeon game, it lasted maybe like a turn or two. But now it's lasting a long time. Maybe it's just me? Also, it's funny how Slowbro is, or Slow King is in this dungeon, because it's the Lugia dungeon. Man, whatever happened to the Pokemon movies? Like, I feel like they've gotten... Maybe it's because I'm getting older, and that I'm kind of nostalgia blind. but like the first Pokemon movie and the Lugia movie, were so good. All right, doesn't look like anyone has donated while we're on this floor. You know what? I'll go to every room. I'll finish out the floor, and if anybody donates, like I said, I will match it. Whatever you donate. Mr. X, welcome back. Yeah, so Mr. X, let's see, the concept of a PMD movie certainly is very interesting. I agree. They did like a couple like TV shorts of it that I quite liked. But just really quick before continuing that conversation. So, since you were gone, Mr. X, I made a deal with if anyone donates while I'm on this floor 50, and I might just pick random floors. Right now, your $10 donation can turn into a $20 donation. The current host matching donations. Absolutely. So, if you donate anything, I will personally match it. No matter, I mean, I'm on a budget as well. But like, if you, I have $50 to throw around. If you donate $50 right now, I will absolutely do the same. So, and I will do that. I'll be doing that periodically. To, you know, every handful of floors. I'll be doing that as well. Alright, we're going to the next floor. So maybe I'll do that every 10 floors from now on. So floor 60, I'll do the same. Oh my god, I forgot that it gets Nasty Plot now. Wait, I feel like Slow Bro or Slow King has always gotten Nasty Plot. I feel like it has. Apparently there was some leaked stuff from the DLC that came out this morning. I didn't really look too much into it, and obviously, you know, for spoiler reasons, you know, don't say anything about it in the chat if you've seen it, but it is kind of interesting. I always find kind of leaked stuff interesting, because I like looking back and seeing whether people are just making a bunch of crap up. Let's see, I'll think about it. Quarantine makes income a bit tough, but I'll see if I can donate 15 or so. Honestly, like, that's totally understandable. And, like, that's the whole reason that we're sort of doing this, is to help out people who really, really need help during all this quarantine. But obviously, you know, a lot of people being out of work right now makes money tight for everybody, so that's totally understandable. Just give it a thought. But there is also, I don't know why I just did use that move, because the only Pokemon in here with me is this downed Charmander. But yeah, just give it a thought. There's also lots of, you know, giveaways and stuff going on as well for those who donate. So, was that a Reviver Seed? I might want that. It was a Reviver Seed. I need to go back for that. Okay. I'm sure I have lots of plain seeds. Okay, how many... Okay, what is my Reviver Seed count at now? So I've got 4 tiny Reviver Seeds. Let's see, there's 10, 14. That's 28, so I have 32 Reviver Seeds left. But I need to switch out from Miltank, because Miltank's belly is basically empty. And you need a max elixir. Well, no, it's right here. Never mind. Okay. So if we've got a couple people here, I'm always interested to know, what are some people's favorite, like, Pokemon theories? So I'm in a couple, like, Discord channels about, like, Pokemon theories and such. And I've never been much of a theory person myself. As in, like, coming up with them. I'm honestly not that creative. So, I'm always interested to know what people's favorite theories are with Pokemon. I mean, there's obviously the classics, like the Ash Coma theory. Wow, that did so much damage. But yeah, there's always the classics like that. Then there's, if you really want to get into all of the world building of Pokemon, then there's all sorts of things about the unknown and the like the developers that you like meet throughout the course of the game, or like I think in every game there's like a room somewhere in a building of like the one person's like, I drew you. One person, and then another person's like, oh, I'm the person who makes you move, or something like that. Like the animator, basically. And there's like a theory that I heard about them basically being like, that like Arceus isn't like the god of the Pokemon world, but they are. Which I'm like, you're not wrong. But I tend to think of them more in a similar way to, if you're probably, I mean, maybe people are as nerdy as me, I don't know. If you're familiar at all with like with Marvel Comics, I think they're more similar to the concept of like the Watchers. These like just super powerful beings that just kind of sit and watch. Like the goings-on in the comic universe. That's kind of what I see them as. Ooh, a citrus berry. That's actually quite useful. I don't need a weather band. Weather bands are kind of garbage. Okay. Another Badoo, and I'm sad, because I can't recruit it. Okay. Yeah, these 99 floor dungeons are a real, like, test of stamina. Because what I did for, I've only done one other 99 floor dungeon, like, in this game. And when I did that, what I did was, I did the beginning, like, in a video. And then I did, oh, Miltank has a linked move too. Heck. There you go, Miltank. Oh wait, that doesn't heal your belly at all? I really thought it did. Alright, well, you can have this Oran Berry then. Cool. Yeah, so what I did was I did like the first handful of floors for a video, and then what I did was just did like a handful of floors like at night before I went to bed. And it took several days for me to get it done doing it at that rate. Oh, I'm almost out of max elixirs too. That's not great. One of my faves is Ditto being a failed Mew clone. I definitely like... I go back and forth on whether I like that theory or not. And like... It makes some sense in that you find Ditto, at least like in Gen 1, the only places you find Ditto are the place on Cinnabar Island, which is what is even the name of that place? I don't remember. I should know, but I don't. Pokemon Mansion. There it is. And if the Gen 1 evolutions being revived into the Johto Trio. Yeah, that one I kind of agree with too. But yeah, in Gen 1, the only place you can find Ditto were the Pokemon Mansion, which has all those books about Mewtwo. And in Cerulean Cave, which is where you find Mewtwo. So, like, it makes sense. But it kind of falls apart in, like, later regions, because, like, you can find Ditto in Alola and Galar, where there's no reference at all to Mew or Mewtwo. Have you ever played any of the non-Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games? Absolutely. I've played every Pokemon game, at least all the main series games. I mean, with the except, like, at least, like, one in each generation. So, like, I haven't played Sword because I bought Shield. But yeah, I've played every generation. I've played most of the spin-offs. Like, I played the original Pokemon Ranger. I don't think I played any of the sequels. Pokemon Conquest, I love. Pokemon Conquest is probably my favorite side game after Mystery Dungeon. But yeah, I've played almost every Pokemon game that there is. I'd say probably my favorite of all of them is, you know, I've said a couple times that, like, the original Mystery Dungeon was my favorite, like, video game of all time. But I would say probably my favorite, like, main series Pokemon game is Platinum. Because, like, I really loved Diamond and Pearl. Where are these heckin' stairs? I really, really loved Diamond and Pearl, and then Platinum just made them better. Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry, I mean, like, the Chocobo Mystery Dungeon, Sheer and the Wanderer. No, I have not. Finally, I start in a room with the stairs. No, I've never played any Mystery Dungeon game that is not the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. I've heard good things about them. I've just never, given it, like, a thought, basically. I've never really seen them advertised, either. I think they're mostly much more popular in Japan. Which is probably why I haven't seen them. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to let Smeargle die. But we are getting close to floor 60, and if you donate while I'm on floor 60, I will match it. Fun facts. Nope, we're just getting out of here. I don't want to fight that Slowbro. I think that's sort of been my problem so far with this dungeon, why I'm running out of resources, is that I have been picking fights with too many Pokemon instead of just running away. What do you say in Hunt to Mr. X? So Mystery Dungeon is not a unique thing to Pokemon. Like there were several other Mystery Dungeon games, which is why the original Mystery Dungeon games were produced by Spike Chunsoft and not by Game Freak or Nintendo. They were like licensed to Nintendo to only be used by them, but they weren't like produced by Nintendo Game Freak. But yeah, I just don't think they get, like, advertised much in the West. And again, I just feel so bad just abandoning all these Pokemon on these random floors. Okay, well that was short. We started on the same room as the stairs. But I'll explore a little bit. And if anyone wants to donate, they can do it now, and it will be matched by yours truly. So let's... Okay, there are a lot of enemies on this floor, so I don't know how long I'm going to hang out. Oh, this is getting real dangerous now. Wall Rain are on these floors, and they know Sheer Cold. So I'll explore a little bit. But I don't want to spend a ton of time on these floors with Wall Rains. Just running around. And I always forget that I have Heat Wave, because like I have it in my mind that I'm like, don't use Heat Wave, everything down here is a water type. But apparently not everything down here is a water type. And even some of them that are, most of them are ice types at this point. We're pretty far down. That's bad. Oh, I got frozen. That's real bad. Cool. They played through one of the SNES Mystery Dungeon games on the Japanese show Game Center CX. Interesting. I've never heard of that. I used to be somewhat like watch some like Japanese game shows. Back when G4 was a channel on like my DirecTV. I think we had DirecTV at the time. A subscription. And they removed it, and I was super sad. Like, Unbeatable Banzuke was one of my favorite shows just because it was so over-the-top ridiculous. But I really, really liked watching Unbeatable Banzuke. And then they just took away G4 from me. And, like, the original Ninja Warrior. Because the American Ninja Warrior show is not nearly as fun, I don't think. The episodes are officially subtitled on the Retro Game Master DVD collection. Interesting. That's kind of weird to think of. Was it like a TV show? Or was it an online show? Because obviously, like, playing video games for other people to watch online is, like, nowadays, like, obviously a super common thing. We're here. But... Okay. Sure. Anyway, but yeah, like if they did it for like it sounds like they did it for like a TV show, which is interesting. I don't think I'd ever really heard of that happening. Like before sort of recently. Okay, we're getting there. We're 2/3 of the way there, basically. Okay, but looking time-wise, like, it looks like we're gonna have a decent amount of time, assuming that we actually beat Lugia. That's still kind of up in the air. So, if we do finish with, like, substantial amount of time, what would you guys like to see me switch to? If we get to that point. Just, you know, preparing mentally beforehand. Let's see. Game Center CX is a Japanese reality show starring comedian Shinya Arino. Every episode, he tries to beat a classic video game. Interesting. That's pretty cool. trying to think. I can't think of like a single, like, at least American TV show where people just played video games online or like on TV. I can't really think of a time when that was a thing. I wouldn't be surprised to learn that it had happened at some point. But I just hadn't really ever heard of it. Yeah, so let's see, for games to switch to afterward, I have Animal Crossing, and I can just kind of mess around in my island. Yeah, see, I kind of figured some people would want Animal Crossing. But I also, you could do some raids on Sword and Shield. That could be kind of fun. But if people want Animal Crossing, I came very late to the Animal Crossing party. I have not gotten KK Slider to come to my island yet. I'm just sort of taking it one day at a time. When did I buy it? I bought it after my college classes ended. So I've had it for maybe like 2 weeks. Oh, it's a little windy out. Yeah, I've had it for maybe 2 weeks, so I'm not super far. Oh, wait a minute. That's bad. I didn't think it would work like that. So, I guess when you get Octazooka used on you, you get the status which is called the Blinker status. I didn't know that when you use moves, they hit your teammates. Which, I mean, makes sense because you can't see. But I just wasted one of our Reviver Seeds on Miltank, so that's bad. I might as well use a regular Reviver Seed to fix Miltank's belly. Can I switch? I can't switch. I'm gonna use Spore then, and just put everybody to sleep. And then you can waste turns by holding the top R button and then clicking A. There we go. Hey, Krabby is still awake. Good job, Krabby. You're doing the Lord's work out here. Oh yeah, I named my Voltorb Oli after, like, a preschooler show when I was a preschooler. Maybe a little older than preschooler, but I was still quite young. A book called Roly Poly Oli. It was, that I think was a Disney Channel show. And I couldn't think of a better name for just a literal ball. Oh. Oh, good job, Electrode, you got him. Yeah, I'm at 4 stars currently and taking it day by day to working on projects slowly and to get to 5 stars. For me, it's mostly just that, like, I've mostly just been playing the stock market. That's what I've been doing for most of my time playing Animal Crossing, because I'm like, I just want to design my house, and I'm sick of Tom Nook being like a loan shark, and that had a really cool animation. And I just wanted enough money to be able to complete all my house expansions. So I'm not super concerned about too much else until I get that done. Also, it's super random that we just run into Clamperl down here. Like, all these other, like, relatively strong Pokemon like Walrein and Muck, and then there's just Clamperl. I'm not gonna... Okay, Clamperl, you win. That did a lot of damage. Clamperl is too strong. So, I play competitive Pokemon somewhat commonly, or somewhat, like, frequently. And there's a tier in competitive Pokemon called Little Cup, which is specifically for Pokemon that have not yet evolved. And Clamperl is one of those Pokemon. Clamperl is an incredibly powerful Pokemon in Little Cup. Because if you give it the item, the Deep Sea Tooth, it doubles its special attack. And, which is really, really good for Clamperl. And then the fact that it also gets Shell Smash is great. Absolutely, to what our wonderful host is saying in the chat. Every little bit helps. Even, you know, if it's just a couple of dollars. Man. Let's see, I'm trying to think, how can I make us get to some of these floors a little quicker? Do I have any of those? I do. Oh, wow. That makes life way easier. So, this is an item that I kind of forgot that I had, where it shows you where the stairs are. So once we get within a couple floors of Lugia, I think I'll start using those. Actually, you know what? I'll use a couple of them to get to our sort of golden floors, where if you all donate, I will be matching. So I'll use a couple of them to get to some of those floors. And then, just so we can spend more time on those floors. So I'm not just wandering around sort of aimlessly. Let's see, so I've got 22 now of those left. Let's see. There are 33 floors left, so... Everyone got poisoned? That's crazy. I've never seen one of those traps before. That's kind of broken. Yeah, Clamperl, that's gonna be a no. Yeah, so we can use these for the majority of the floors we have left. Nice. Yeah, I just completed one of the, there is sort of a loose post-game story in this game. How many, okay, these Walrein are 2 for 2 on these, Sheer Colds, which makes me sad, that I can never land those. You know, as I mentioned, I do occasionally play, some competitive Pokemon, and, a couple years ago, I think it was the first season of Sun and Moon VGC, so what was that, 2016? I ran a really cheesy team with Fissure Gastrodon and instruct Oranguru, because if you do that under Trick Room and like you have Oranguru instruct Gastrodon to Fissure, there's a more than 50% chance of that Pokemon just getting O-Code, which I think is really funny. My cat just came in the room. But we are on floor 70, which gives me an excuse to spend some extra time, especially since we started with the stairs. Come here, Jonathan. Come here, buddy. So yeah, if you want to donate, now is the time, because I will be matching. And it would make my cat, Jonathan, really happy. Isn't that right, buddy? Now, he's a really vocal cat, so you might hear him kind of in the background. He likes to just kind of meow about nothing. But like the last golden floor, I will sort of just explore a little bit, even though we did start in the room with the stairs. Oh, I'm covered in fur now. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. That was fur all over my Joy-Cons, too. Bye, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I'll explore a little bit. Give some people some more time if they want to donate. Yeah, if you're going to donate, you should do it on one of these floors, because it effectively doubles your donation. Once again, there are lots of really cool sort of like incentives to donate as well. There are giveaways, there are prizes. Definitely, if you can, you know, that's the whole name of the game today. Is that we're trying to help out people who need it. So if you can't afford it, please at least, you know, give the link down below a look. Oh, Chinchu. Are you gonna have Water Absorb? Oh, you have Illuminate. Okay. So there are 28 floors left, and I have 20 Guiding Wands. So I think I'll save some of them so that I can use them on the last just 20 floors. So I'll get to 79, and then I'll just use one every floor. Because it also really saves on our belly as well. Because we're not just wandering around aimlessly looking for the stairs. A Kingdra. Ooh. Currently just doing stuff on Pokemon Showdown. Yeah, I really enjoy Pokemon Showdown. It just makes life a lot easier for like team testing and things like that. Although like, at least for VGC anyway, the metagame on Showdown seems to be like weirdly different than the metagame like on the Switch. Which is really interesting. I always think it's super interesting to think about. Just because, like, I mean, for me personally, I can almost never get a Pokemon with a 0 speed IV. And Trick Room is one of the better sort of like team modes in VGC. And obviously, it would be super helpful if you could get Pokemon with 0 speed IVs. But I've only been able to get one. And it was just randomly through a raid. I got a 0 speed IV. What was it? A Gotharita? Whatever the middle stage of that evolution line is. Yeah, Gothita, Gothorita, Gothitelle. So I have a nice like 0-speed Gothitelle, but like that doesn't really help me because it's female. All Gothitelle are female. So I can't really use that 0-speed IV to breed into other Pokemon, which kind of bums me out. And it wasn't even hidden ability, which also kind of stinks. Oh, this one's Volt Absorb. Oh, wait a minute. I think my Electrode is out of... Ooh. Oh, wait, that makes me out of max elixirs. Yeah, I think I should just do it. See, this is why... This is why, like, resource management is incredibly important in Mystery Dungeon games. Because, like, for these super long dungeons, it's just so hard to plan accordingly. And, oh, well, what do you know? And have things go the way you want them to. Sometimes you just get lucky, though. Sometimes you just get lucky and get into a room with the exact item that you need, right when you need it. What are you? Is that a Happiny? Man, there's all sorts of Pokemon in here that like I've never even seen before in this game that I can't recruit because I don't have any stinking apples. Sorry, little guy. Okay, hopefully these aren't Volt Absorb. They're both Volt Absorb. Nice. Luckily, Miltank can at least one-shot basically any Pokemon. Okay. Clamperl, stop smashing. Because you're just going to cost me a lot of Reviver Seeds that I don't have. Does anybody watch the current anime? Because I'm curious about it. I've heard some... Well, I didn't watch Sun and Moon either. But I heard really good things about Sun and Moon. I just never watched it. But now that the like newest season of the anime is going to be coming to Netflix, I think I might actually start watching that one. Jonathan is back in my room. So yeah, so if you hear him, like I said, he doesn't actually want anything. Like I made sure that his food, that he had food and water before I started streaming. He just likes to hear himself talk. Like that. So once again, we are almost getting to our one of our golden floors, where if you donate, I will match your donation. So if you are considering donating, make sure to click on the link down below, and just you know, give it a thought. there are lots of really cool incentives and prizes and things for donating, and it just helps out a really good cause. So if you're going to donate, you should wait until we are on floor 80, and that way your donation is effectively doubled. So, just give it a thought, you know. Miltank, why are you going that way? Jonathan does need attention, and I love him dearly. Like, okay, I mean this in the nicest possible way. I love him to death, but he's a very, okay. Like, I don't know how to word this without sounding insensitive to my cat. He eats way too much. And not even, that's like not just like an opinion, like he'll eat, like if we leave his food dish down, he'll eat so much that he throws up and then just goes back to eat again. And we don't know how to fix it. We don't know how to like make him not do that. So what he probably wants is like more food, because like what was in his dish is probably gone. And like I love him, but like he's also a very, very needy animal. Which like he's a cat. Cats, you wouldn't think cats are super needy. Like the whole reason to get a cat is because they're less maintenance than a dog. Yeah, I'm talking about you. But yeah, not Jonathan. And it's the story of how we got him is actually really funny. Alright, well, see you later, buddy. So it was this like really dark and like rainy October night, so it was pretty chilly. And please attack me. Don't attack Omanite again, because it's gonna faint and use another reviver seed. Anyway. Yeah, it was just like rainy October night. And we hear this cat meowing outside. We thought it was our other cat. So we open the door. And in walks Krabby. What are you doing back there? Krabby, I'm not reviving you, I'm sorry. So when an enemy Pokemon defeats one of your Pokemon, it gives them sort of like the empowered status. Fortunately, that Gorbis is not coming toward us, which is nice, because it boosts them quite a lot. But yeah, dark and stormy October night, heard this cat meowing outside. We open the door, thinking that it was our other cat. And in strolls this little tiny kitten like he owns the place. And of course, my sister and I was maybe like 16, 17. My sister and I were like, oh, of course we're keeping him. He's in the house now. And speaking of now, we are now on one of our golden floors. So, like I said, if you are considering donating, now is the time. But yes, so we let him in, we bathed him, he was covered in fleas. So we fixed him up, and my parents the entire time were like, we're not gonna keep him, we're not gonna keep him. And that's when I decided to give him a name. And I was kind of goofy as a 16, 17-year-old. In that, yeah, fleas, I know. But we fixed him up, and my parents were like, well, you know, after we get him, you know, take care of him, make sure he's healthy, we're gonna take him to like the ASPCA. And I was like, that's not happening, so I'm gonna give him a name. And I just decided, you know, I really didn't think that we would keep him, so I just decided to give him the like most ridiculous like human name possible. So I'm like, Jonathan, sure. And it stuck. And my sister started calling him Jonathan. Then my parents started calling him Jonathan. And then here we are several years later with a cat named Jonathan. And I told my parents, I'm like, you guys know I was totally kidding about naming him Jonathan, right? I'm like, that's just objectively a bad name for a cat. And they were like, well, too late now. His name is Jonathan on the paperwork. Okay, so how many revive seeds do I have left? I have 1 tiny. And then 11? 12. So that's 24. So I have 23 revives left. That's definitely doable. But obviously I'm going to have to use a couple of them. Because middle tank is absolutely going to die here from hunger. All of them are probably going to die from hunger again. Okay, Cloister, you really just don't need to do that. Like, that's just kind of unnecessary. Oh, that's bad. Thank you, Smeargle. It's a good thing Icicle Crash can miss, because I think that might have killed me. Actually, no, I have to take that. That might not have killed me. Okay, so we have found the stairs on the golden floor. I'll give maybe another couple seconds. If you want to donate, now's the time. Were there any donations on this floor? There's been donations at some point in the last couple of minutes, but I don't know whether it was on this floor or not. Let's see. Alright, I don't know if I have access to see individuals because I can only see the top donors. So, oh well. Celeste donated $25. Thank you so much, Celeste. So, I will be keeping track. I should probably write that down somewhere. I'll make a note on my phone. I will be donating it at the end of my portion of the stream. So I'll keep a note of that right now. $25. Thank you so much, Celeste. Honestly, that means, like, honestly, so much. So thank you so much for helping out all these, some of these people in need. So we really do appreciate it. And also, just thanks for stopping by. Okay. So we are in the final stretch, gang. Oh yeah, and as our lovely host says in the chat, we're only $5 away from another giveaway as well. So, because I'm participating in the stream, I don't want to be entering the giveaway. That's all for you guys. So my contribution will not count toward that. So we need you guys to get $5 more to get to that next giveaway checkpoint. Ooh. Yeah, man, like, I've been sort of getting into a little bit, some, like, Pokemon speedrunning, sort of, recently. No problem, glad I could help. Honestly, Loaf, for real, though, it really does mean, like, a ton, to have people, you know, just the Pokemon community, and, like, I've seen so many other, like, charity streams lately. Omanite, stop dying. You're literally the only one that I need to keep alive. Omastar can go. But I need you. But no, like, just to see, like, the Pokemon community and the gaming community all together, like coming together and helping out people during this time, it honestly is such a cool thing to be a part of. But yeah, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, speedruns. So yeah, I've been watching some Pokemon speedruns lately, and they're just absolutely ridiculous. Like, I thought I understood like the mechanics of how Pokemon works. Not even close. Like, these people who do speedruns, particularly of like the old gen games, I'm just blown away by how much they just know about the games. Like, it really does just blow my mind that they're like, okay, if I wait X amount of frames right here, it gets like the RNG roll that I need to get a starter with these IVs and this gender to be able to do whatever thing they need it to in like the late game. And I'm like, wow, okay, number one, who figured that out? Number one, I'm like, that person has way too much time on their hands. Number two, just being able to know that and then execute it, being able to push the button on that exact one frame, to be able to accomplish that is just absolutely bonkers to me. And I feel bad just keep letting Smeagol die, but I don't really have another option. Stop attacking Omanite. I need him. Right, but we are getting into the end game now, as they say, as Dr. Strange says. I tried to come up with a good pun there, but I couldn't think of one quick enough. Like, okay, so I've been watching, as I'm sure most people have, I've been watching a lot of streaming platforms. And like, back once again, welcome back again, Mr. X. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of streaming platforms lately, as I'm sure most people have. And I gotta say, I've probably seen Avengers Endgame maybe like 50 times. Yo Celeste, epic donation. Absolutely. And she, sorry, I shouldn't assume, they donated it on one of our golden floors, so I will be matching it with $25 as well. But yeah, I've seen Avengers Endgame probably like at least 20 times. And every single time, it gets me. And like, it holds up. And just like that, the big fight scene at the end is just so good. I might actually let this Relicanth join me because I don't have one yet, and I don't know where else it spawns. And there's a very solid chance that I'm just not coming back here again. So yeah, I will let you join me. Although if you die, I'm just gonna let you die. We're really getting close to the end game here. We've got about 15... Nope, that's not math. About 13 floors. Now 12 floors. To the Abagon. Well, I already have a Salmon, so I don't really need you. Yeah, about 12 floors to the final boss. And we might finish with maybe like 45-ish minutes to spare, so I could definitely kick around on Animal Crossing for a little bit, or if people want, we can do some group raids, potentially, in Sword and Shield, if people have their Switch handy. I don't even know what the promoted raids are right now. Is it still, I was going the absolute wrong way. Are the promoted raids still, like the VGC popular Pokemon, like Dragapult and Togekiss and Tyranitar? Is that still what's going on? Gmax Eevee. Oh, okay. I actually don't have one of those because I didn't play Let's Go Eevee. I played Let's Go Pikachu. So yeah, if people are down to do some raids, I'm down to do some raids. Yeah, like, I'm sure that I'll pick up... Actually, I shouldn't say that. I will probably eventually end up getting Let's Go Eevee, like, when I find it, like, on sale somewhere. Just so I can get that, like, perfect 6 IV, like, G-Max Eevee, to then use as, like, a breeder Eevee. But I don't know. We'll see. I really enjoyed Let's Go. I know there was a lot of like mixed opinions on it. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a bit too easy, but like that was kind of the point. Like it wasn't meant to be hard. All right, but we are once again on another golden floor. So if you donate during this time, as once again I find the stairs. Why do I always find the stairs like the quickest on these floors? Anywho, if you donate while I'm here, I will match your donation once again. And then during the boss fight, I will also do the boss fight as sort of a golden floor. So that one will probably take quite a while. That might take upwards of 20 minutes probably. Another citrus berry, ooh. Citrus berries are nice because they, no, I didn't want that. Oh, the Joy-Con drift is getting real. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I'm happy I was able to donate. Would love for some raids for Big Boy Eevee. Other than not including the Sevi Islands, I was mostly happy with Let's Go. Yeah, I agree. I really loved the animation style. I'm glad they didn't keep it for Sword and Shield, but it was like it was like the perfect aesthetic for what Let's Go was going for, you know? I also didn't hate the catch mechanic as much as most other people seem to. Like, pretty much my only complaint was the same complaint that I kind of have with Sword and Shield, in that, Actually, did Sword and Shield even have this? I don't remember. I think it does, with the EXP share. Excuse me. EXP share that you can turn off. That made Let's Go in particular very easy for me. And also made Sword and Shield. I didn't think it made Sword and Shield super easy, because I changed up my team relatively often. Ooh. Oh, I have to sneeze, excuse me. Nope, it was a false alarm. I hate when that happens. Anyway, why am I like this? $5 more until we have our next giveaway. So, if it is at all feasible financially for you, please consider giving. It is $5 and enters you to win a really awesome, a variety of really awesome prizes. Relicantha, you coming or what? Alright, so I'll hang out for another second on this floor, but there will be another chance during the boss fight, which, like I said, will be another probably like 20 minutes worth of gameplay here. Man, I knew I was saving these guiding wands for something. I've had them forever, and I've just been like, meh, I can find my way around. But they really do make these dungeons significantly more bearable. Although it always is super unfortunate when like the stairs when you use one and the stairs end up being like in the room that you were going to go into anyway. So like the Lugia battle should be challenging, but not terrible, because for most Pokemon that have, like, most legendary Pokemon that have, like, an extra form, they turn into that, like, halfway through the battle. So, like, Rayquaza Mega Evolves, Groudon and Kyogre Primal Revert, Mewtwo Mega Evolved, but Lugia doesn't have that. So, it'll be interesting to see what the Lugia fight will end up looking like. Alright, this thing has Volt Absorb, so I can't use that. Oh, Reddit, I don't need... Sorry, if you heard my phone, I'm sorry, that was Reddit. Reddit is, like, the best and worst place on the internet. That's how I describe it to some of my, like, non-Reddit friends. Or, like, my parents. It's like, you have, like, r/rare puppers, which is fantastic. And everything you could ever want in life and more. Where it is exactly what it sounds like, where it's just threads of really cute dogs. And then there's all of the other terrible things that, like, Reddit is, you know, more known for. But I just stick to the rare puppers. There's also, one of my favorite YouTube channels is called Tierzu, who basically takes, there's a subreddit called r/outside, and it basically takes, like, the natural world and puts it in terms of, like, an RPG style game. So it's like, it talks about animals in a way that you would talk about, like, classes in, like, a traditional RPG game. And Tierzu basically took that sort of format and made it his entire YouTube channel. And I love it so much. And I'm trying to think how we even got... Oh, I think I started talking about Tierzu because we were talking about Reddit. But yeah, r/outside is also a lot of fun. Because it's like... one of the posts that I remember was like, talk about foreign language. It's like... It's usually like people asking for advice in terms of things like, well, I've been trying to level up the foreign language skill tree, but like, is it worth it long term? Is it worth the multiple years of investment? Yeah, is it worth the multiple years of investment to put into it? You know, what's the payoff in the end? And so it's people would just reply in kind, where it's like, it can be rewarding if you like to travel, or if you plan on leaving your server and venturing to different servers. But if you're just gonna stay in your server your entire life, it's not really that important. Let's see. Oh, and about the Sun and Moon anime, I personally didn't really like it. I didn't like the art style, and the story was meh. Okay, that's fair. And like, I don't know any better. The last anime I watched was, I think, the beginning of the Sinnoh anime, so I'm not a good judge of any of the anime recently. Oh, I can't even damage this thing right now, can I? Do I even have any max elixirs left? No. Alright, Miltank. I think you're the only one on our team that can damage these Lantern right now. Hello, Dozer. How are you? Welcome to the stream. We are getting to the end of Silver Trench. I think I have... Actually, oh, it'll be next floor, actually. So I really shouldn't be healing anybody right now anyway. We have a nice boss fight in maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. Oh, the stairs are way over there, so it might be another couple minutes. Let's see. The new Twilight Wings anime was very different, but better than Sun Moon IMO. Dawn Wings was like the little, like the shorts, right? They're not really connected? Is that... Am I thinking of the right thing? Let's see. Everyone, please remember, if you can't donate, please share the stream and the Extra Life page. If you can't donate, maybe know somebody who can. Absolutely. Like, you know, there's financial hard times going on for a lot of people right now, and like, that's totally understandable. But it's completely free to, you know, share the link on Twitter. It's completely free to, you know, share it. Do people still use Facebook? I still use Facebook because I feel like I'm old. But yeah, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all of those social medias that the kids these days use. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, for everyone else, we're still only $5 away. Oh no, there was another donation. Very nice. I think you're past that giveaway point now. If it was I don't know the points for the giveaways. I would assume that it was 250. So yes, we are past it. And okay, Dozer also wins a prize. Yay. But we are here for the final boss of the dungeon. And if you donate now during this boss fight, I will be matching your donations as well. So, why have you come here? This is the Silver Trench. This is my territory. My name is Lugia. I'm the Guardian of the Seas. To protect this sea, I have settled here. If you dare to challenge me, so be it. I will rise to your challenge. That's English. Cast aside all thoughts. Unleash every bit of your power. With your life at stake, bring it on. Cool. Alright, step 1. Oh wait, I need to be Smeargle. Nope. Joy-Con drift, leave me alone. Okay. Spore. Step 1. Okay, and then everybody else. Oh, wait a minute. Why'd you wake up so soon? Stop it. Dragon Rush. That's not great. Okay, so now comes the tricky bit. So, I need to Miltank. Don't use Milk Drink or Thunder Punch. Only use Defense Scroll Rollout. You. Only use Discharge. Between you and Smeargle, hopefully we can just hacks the absolute crap out of this thing. Like that. Oh, but okay, we got the... Man, so bosses tend to get over status conditions a lot faster than normal Pokemon. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I'll have to wait until the next event to donate. That's absolutely fine. But definitely consider, sharing it on Twitter, share it on your social medias, that kind of thing. That also helps out a lot. Was that literally just the fight? Was that literally it? That went by so quickly. I expect it to be way harder. What is this? Maybe they don't want to give you a really hard fight at the end of a 99 floor dungeon, which is, like, understandable. Let's see, will you be on PokeHazard Network anytime in the future? Yes. So, that's, in discussions. That's something that we're working out in the future, but they're running events, all the time throughout, oh yeah, this weekend, next weekend, and 3 in June. So there are lots of other opportunities as well. Team Poke Rescue, that's the name of my team. And to do all summer is the goal. That's what I figured. Team Poke Rescue's courage in the fierce battle that's not what I would call a fierce battle. That's just me. Left an impression on Lugia. You can now access the Deep Sea Current Camp, and Lugia joined the team. Lugia has a rare quality, Notorious Healing, which is not very good. We will not give Lugia a nickname, so let's get the heck out of here. So we got the TM for Energy Ball. So these were from all the chests that we picked up throughout the dungeon. So we got Energy Ball, a Gummy, Dojo Ticket, an Oranberry, some Calcium, more Calcium, Reviver Seed. Cool. So I will take Omanite because it has Leave Half, which is a really good rare quality, so I will take you. And you're level 60, so I can just evolve you right away. Omastar, no, I'm sorry. But thanks for your help. And you also give me lots of money. Yeah, you give me like 9 grand. Yeah. Relicanth, I will take you. And I don't think you have a rare quality either. But I'll take you anyway. And that's Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. I don't know what this is. I don't know what's happening right here. Hi, Xatu. It's been a long time. Are you here to visit us? After everything we went through, I honestly have no idea what this is. Xatu, you must be intrigued by our achievements. Ha ha ha. Wrong. Shopping in Pokemon Square is what I came to do. I only came here because it's on the way. It's not... This is not very important. Thanks, Xatu. I thought we were friends. Oh, is that all? Hey, Xatu. What is this? I genuinely have no idea what is happening. Oh, hey, there you are. I didn't know you'd be here. You had me looking, Xatu. What is it? Well, to the northeast of Mount Thunder, there's a gigantic cave. Oh, okay, I do know what this is. This is just the opening of another dungeon. That's fine. There aren't any, there wasn't anything like that there before, right? Was there? So I figured Xatu would know something. So if you donate now, I'm still considering this the boss fight because it's just a lot of text. So if you still donate now, I will absolutely be matching your donations. I shall call it Meteor Cave, with absolutely no other context, and no reason to believe that there was a meteor that caused this cave. But sure. Meteor Cave? Oh, there it is. Here's context. It was when Rayquaza destroyed the falling star. Its broken pieces, they scattered across the skies. One tumbled to the earth. It fell into a mountain and made the cavern you speak of. Blastoise, did you explore inside the Meteor Cave? Yeah, just a little. But the place was crawling with these weird things. It freaked me out and I couldn't stay there long. Surprise, surprise. Blastoise is kind of cowardly. See, this is the charming thing that I love about Mystery Dungeon. What's that? Hey you, Cooper. If you were to see that dungeon, you'd be intimidated too. I'd never seen anything like it before. There were downright bizarre things in there that I'm not sure were even Pokemon. Xatu, do you have any idea what those things are in that place? I draw a blank, I do not know. However, that cavern, the collision that caused it, had to be enormous. If there were things that survived the crash, perhaps of this world they may not be. You mean, they came from that falling star? Perhaps that is so. Gavin, want to go investigate the Meteor Cave? Sure. And with that, I think it's time for our rescue team to go to bed. Yes. Okay. So at this point, we can switch over to a different game. Or if we wanted to, you could do the giveaway right now. I could go grab a drink or something. So that's totally up to our wonderful host. Or we could switch over to doing some raids / Animal Crossing, whatever you guys want to do. Yeah, this is Mystery Dungeon. Every day, Pallet comes and delivers mail. He just keeps mail in his beak. But it looks like I'm going to be taking a quick break. We're going to switch back to our wonderful host, and we'll see where we go from there. So I'm going to count it down to the switch just to time things correctly. And so I'm going to end it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.